Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Meg, and this is Ger Can Get It. This week, Hot Daddy's back in town.
If they gave awards for makeouts on screen or stage, this guy would get a lifetime achievement. He'll find any excuse to get right to second face. You honestly wouldn't believe it. Dissecting each and every kiss with tongue. There's only one conclusion to come to. It's that Ger can get it. Ger can get it.
I was waiting for this. I've been waiting for this for so long. This show is so terrible. Okay, so this week we'll be discussing a TV show called Baxter, Season 1, Episode 13, titled Finale. It's from 2010. It was the finale. It was the final episode of Season 1 of the show. They thought there would be a Season 2, but as we've come to recognize as a characteristic, if Ger shows up, your whole show shuts down. So there was never a Season 2. So
There's only one season of this show.
this amazing show, yeah.
Wow.
I know. Are you sad? Did you?
The world wasn't ready. When did Glee? When was Glee?
Glee starts 2009.
Okay.
And Baxter starts 2010. Yeah, 2010 to 2011.
Okay, because this felt like musical theater in high school. So hot right now.
This to me felt like, I feel like Glee definitely had ups and downs, but Glee felt more sophisticated to me.
Yeah, well, Glee was doing like covers of actual pop songs. These are like handwritten for this show by like this guy's 6-year-old niece. Who,
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and Glee, like I feel like they were like actual. It was more like a soap opera. They were like actual character stakes, and this is definitely a show for 12-year-olds about high school kids.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. It felt Disney, like the Disney Channel. Yeah.
This was a little rough to watch. Okay, so the basic premise of the show is that there's a kid named Baxter McNabb. He has just started. He's a freshman in high school at the Northern Star School of the Arts. So it's a theater specific high school, I guess. And when I looked the show up on Wikipedia, it said that he wants to be a comedian, and I was like, why would a comedian go to a theater school? So I wonder if they really mean like a comedic actor, like he wants to act, but like mainly comedy stuff.
Yeah.
His parents are divorced. His mom, I guess, has either remarried or, I don't know, somehow she has 2 little kids who creeped me the fuck out. Did they creep you out too?
Yeah, because they kept showing up together and they were like, hello, Baxter.
So creepy.
Here's my dirty underwear.
It was so weird.
Okay.
So weird. I think the Divya voice is appropriate, and I'm glad that you used it, because like, that is the same
you.
vibe where I just want to set them on fire. But they're like, I'm not good at kid ages. Are they? I don't know. Like
Father.
6, 7? I don't know. How old do you think those kids are?
I'm not
5?
good at kid. They're like anywhere from 3 to 10. I don't know. They look like children, maybe 7 or 8. Like
they're little. They're like little wee baby kids. They're twins, I think, a boy and a girl. And you're right, they always show up like from The Shining, like hand in hand, like just together as a little unit. I don't know. They freaked me out. And you never see his mom, which I don't know if there's a mom in like any other episode, because I could not bring myself to watch any other episode. But like, it's just weird. It felt like here's this very large, air quote, teen boy in his home with his 2010 semi mullet, and like here comes the ghost of 2 like murdered children. I don't know. I didn't like his home vibes.
Yeah.
But apparently his parents are divorced. I don't know anything about his mom or like the stepdad or whatever, if there is one. But his real daddy is Canada's theatre laureate, Sir Harold Hampstead. And I was like, oh, Sir Harold.
Sir Harold.
Fucking, like,
Hampstead.
Yeah.
Ham.
Yeah. Just chef's kiss. Just correct. What was his name in Slings and Arrows?
Henry Breedlove.
Henry Breedlove. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So many good names. Okay. So he is apparently, Harold Hampstead is apparently like the super famous Shakespearean actor. I wonder why I got that part.
Wow.
But he's like so famous that Baxter was like, I need nobody at school to know that this guy is my dad. So that's why he goes by McNabb. I don't know where, maybe that's his mom's maiden name. I don't know. But he goes by Baxter McNabb instead of Baxter Hampstead, I guess. And the only people at school who know who his real dad are the principal, and his girl best friend, Emma, who just seems like she needs to take some medicine because she is just vibrating through time and space the entire episode. She's just fucking a lot. But she's his best buddy. And when I looked on Wikipedia, it said that there were like, it's like every other show on TV. He has like a super hot girl that he's into who is like the star. She's the one who plays Cinderella in the musical that we'll discuss in a second. And then there's like a will they, won't they with his best friend, because like no boy and girl can be friend on television without there being like a weird undercurrent of sexual whatever.
Right.
But I didn't really feel that in this episode, which was good. It was more straightforward. So it looks like the whole season has been building up to some kind of to like an end of year musical play. That's kind of the vibe I get, is that they've been working on this for like a long time. So mainly the episode is the dancing kids working on dancing, because I guess their choreographer like quit or died or ran away or whatever.
Got sick, I think.
Got sick, yeah. That shows how much I paid attention. I was like, fast forward. So there's the dancing kids working on the dancing. And then there are the kids who are the stars of the musical, and they're working on like their songs and on their whatever. So you noticed that the lady who plays the theater teacher is the lady
she's from Street Legal.
From Street Legal.
Yeah, she's the one who sings at the wedding.
Yeah, Cynthia Dale. Okay. Mm-hmm. I had no idea, because she's doing like full on kid acting. Like she's like so fucking big. And
over
like
the
kid
top.
acting. Yes. Yeah. Like very much like, I'm the theater teacher, like jazz hands. And I was like, okay. But you're right. She's totally, that is the same woman. So
I was like, I know her. Oh, she's in Street Legal.
You are so much better with faces than I am. Like they all just, I mean, there's like one face I'm paying attention to.
I like connecting actors. It is like my one skill set.
Well, I mean,
I lean into it.
It's the nice thing with Ger performances, and I feel like Canadian TV performances, is there's like 6 guys. So everything we watch, we're like, oh, I saw you in that thing. Oh, I saw you in that thing. So anyway, they're like, they've been working the whole semester, it seems like, to get up to this musical. And Baxter is not the lead. Baxter plays so it's like a Cinderella based musical. So Baxter plays basically like the weird 1950s greaser best friend of the prince, because it's not just a Cinderella musical. It's a Cinderella musical set in some kind of really colorful version of the 50s.
Like Grease meets Cinderella.
Reason. Yes.
Yeah, like Grease meets Cinderella.
Visually just vomit. It's a lot. So he plays best friend of the prince. And then his real life best friend, Emma, plays one of the ugly stepsisters, which they achieved by putting a wart on her nose and giving her a giant red wig. And I was like, fucking sure, it's high school theater. Why not?
Yeah, okay.
And then there's the super hot girl that he likes, and she plays Cinderella, or I think they call her Cindy in this. And then there is a boy whose name is Marcus Crombie.
Both of these boy actors have had quite the glow up in the last 14 years.
Did you look up the kid who played Marcus? I didn't look up Marcus. Is he cute now?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw some clips of the kid who plays Baxter, Evan Williams, I think his name is. I saw some clips of a show that I guess he's one of the main characters on. He's like a high school math teacher or something, which was really upsetting to me, because he is our age, and like I don't know. Like it's hard to think of myself as an adult still. I don't know if anyone else has that.
You're like, I couldn't be a teacher.
I'm like, I'm a fucking lawyer, and I'm still like, oh, a teacher. Like that's a real grown up. Like I don't know. I can't. I don't know. But he looks very different now. Like I feel like like the long shaggy hair he had when he was a teen kind of changes your face shape, and now that he has like normal grown up man haircut, I'm like, I had a hard time recognizing him. Like I knew which one he was, and his voice is still sort of in the same range as it was when he was a kid. But like even watching it, I don't know, maybe I have face blindness. Like I have a really hard time with like following faces through things.
No, I don't know that I would have recognized them if I had just watched this episode of Baxter and then gone on and watched them in something else. I don't know that I would have like picked up that they were the same people, because they're a lot more masculine looking now.
Yeah. Yeah, he was very like, I feel like the long hair and the long clothing silhouette that I feel like was kind of popular for guys in the 2010s.
They were very 2010.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, the fashion in this is really rough. Everyone has like tights and like everything's brightly colored, and I'm sure I saw at least like one bump it. Like it's just
weirdly layered like dresses and short
I feel
skirts.
Like the 2010s now look a lot like what we used to think the 80s looked like, where you're like, I don't understand all the colors, I don't understand like all the shape, like everything is just too fucking much. I feel like the 2010s have that same vibe.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Just a too much vibe. Like everything is just so okay. Anyways, so I kind of like, I know this is like taking a little like side direction. I like that this kid is not the stereotypical super hot I'm going to be like, I'm a triple threat singer, dancer, actor, and I'm amazing at everything. And do you know what I mean? Like, I like that he's like the sidekick, and he's cool with being the sidekick, and he wants to be a comedic actor and not like the hero. I thought that was an interesting choice for a TV show, because it's sort of like this is a valid choice also, you know, which I feel like you wouldn't like if the show were made today, it would be Glee. It would be, we all want to be, what's her name? Rachel something from Glee. Like, we all want to be like the superstar of everything. Like, we're all super competitive. And I like that he's like, this is my niche. This is what I want. I'm going for it. So, anyway, so they're working on this musical. Like, they've been working out the whole semester. And then all of a sudden the principal is like, hey, guess what? We're gonna have a big superstar on the audience, and no biggie, it's gonna be Sir Harold Hampstead, because he's an alumnus of our school and he wants to come and support. And Baxter basically shits his pants and is like, oh no, because his dad doesn't know that nobody knows he's his dad.
Right.
So he's like having a panic attack. So he calls his dad and he leaves a message and is like, what if you just didn't show up? That'd be cool. Like, I know you don't like musicals. I know you're not into that. It's all, you know, it's like low class and you're like super high class Shakespeare. Like, don't even fucking like, just, it's fine.
It's
Dad.
fine. It's fine. Don't come.
But he's scared. So he shows up. So he shows up, and so he walks into the school, but the camera is on Baxter and Emma, and they're like down the hall somewhere. So you just sort of hear Ger like pop in, like open the door and walk in and talk to the principal, and they immediately start like quoting Shakespeare at each other. And I was like, this feels correct. This feels right. I feel like he walks into a room and he's like, how now? I don't know. I love it. I was like, good, correct. So you notice that when Ger walks in and we see him and he's like stopping in the hallway to talk to the principal and this Marcus Crombie kid, there are pictures of like famous alumni on the wall next to him.
Yes.
And the biggest fucking one is of Ger's headshot. Like,
and he's right next to it. Like, he stopped to look at himself. Yeah.
Perfect. I like that this is like a secret characteristic, that there should always be like glamour shots of him on the wall wherever he goes. Like, no notes. I love it.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, it's the biggest one. Like, there are others that are like adults that you're like, oh, I guess these are alumni. And then the one that's like, I don't know, like 20 by 40 is his head. And I was like, good, correct. That should greet him in whatever room he goes into. So, Baxter sees him and shits a brick and runs up to him and is like, hey, Sir Harold, it's nice to meet you. And Ger's like, aha, okay, I get what we're doing here. So Ger's like, hello, it is nice to meet you.
He's like, you're the star of the stage. You're like they're the best at Shakespeare ever. You're Hamlet. He just starts listing all, and he's
that's the Marcus kid. That's the Marcus kid. That
okay.
Yeah. So so Marcus runs up to him first. Marcus, and I like that, like, he's the handsome kid, apparently. I don't know. I guess in 2010 he was handsome.
Yeah.
He's the handsome kid. He's like the lead of all the plays, but also he's super fucking obnoxious and like anxious. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that, like, we're rooting for the number 2 kid, and that's cool. And the number 1 kid is like a gross pain in the ass. I don't know. I like that. I like that vibe. I think that was very interesting. And I'm sort of sad that the show didn't get a 2nd or 3rd season, because it seems like it's a cool concept. So this Marcus kid runs up to Ger and kneels before him. And I was like, correct. This is correct. So kneels before him, starts quoting Shakespeare at him also, and is like, let me just tell you all the things that you've been in and how much I love you. He's like, I loved you in, like, he starts like mentioning Shakespeare plays. I don't know. He's like, I loved you in Antony and Cleopatra. I loved you in Hamlet. Like, you were so good. You're so amazing. He's on his knees and he says, all hail. I was like, this is so fucking, like, this kid he's straight. Like, he appears to be into the girl who plays Cinderella, but like in this moment, I'm like, are you, what's going on
it's fine.
here? You're on your knees in front of Ger. That's interesting. So he praises all this Shakespeare, and then he bows and he's like, I've been writing to you since I was 5. And Ger's like, oh yes, your handwriting has improved. And I was like, what? What's happening here? Like, it feels,
your penmanship is improving, is what he says.
And I was like, so you've just been receiving letters from this kid since he was 5, and he's like 15 now, and we're just, oh, okay, that's all right. Not sexual at all. So so Baxter shows up and he's like, hello, strange man. And Ger's like, hello, strange child. That is not my child. So then they, Baxter and Ger end up going into like a little like side room, and Ger's like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And he's like, Baxter's like, so I didn't, like, here's the thing. Here's the tea. I didn't tell anyone that you're my dad, because like I didn't want that kind of pressure. I didn't want people to like treat me differently. or like treat me like fucking royalty. And I was like, is that what happens if your dad is like a Shakespearean actor at theater school? I feel like this is not what happens. I feel like they're like, who gives a shit? Like I don't know.
Well, if your dad is Ger,
I mean, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, but that's okay. That's fair. That's fair enough.
Star of stage and screen.
I love how like that is such a characteristic is that he's like, okay, I will be in this if my character is the best actor who ever acted ever.
Whoever acted ever.
I want to be the most. And they're like, the most? He's like, yes, the most. Okay, sure. Man.
Okay, that's fine.
So Baxter and his dad are like having this discussion, and then Ger gets to go full on drama queen, and I was like, yeah. He's like, should I put leave? Should I put a bag on my head? And I was like, I love Ger being like, you know what? I'm going to turn it to 11. I know this dial only goes to 10, like, but I'm going to take it up.
I'm an actor.
He says that. I am an actor. He goes, if you want me to act, that is what I will do. And then he like sweeps away. I was like, you should be wearing a cape right now. You're so fucking, you're so fucking much. Oh, I love it. So he gets to storm off dramatically, which is just, it's chef's kiss. It's perfect. So, let's see. So Baxter is like still trying to get out of performing in front of his dad. He's like really nervous about it. So he tries to fake sick. The principal's like, I see that those are pen marks on your face and not chickenpox. So get the fuck out. So, they end up having to work on the musical. And then the teacher, who, as we said, is played by Cynthia Dale, and has kissed Ger and obviously like has had a spell put on her, is like super like sexually excited that Ger's gonna be there.
She's like, oh, hello.
Right? She's not just like, oh, this is a famous actor excited. She's like, oh my God.
I'm telling you, it's like an LSD flashback. Once you've acted with him in something else and then he shows up in the thing you're in, you have to just like, it all just hits you in the head, comes back to you.
Yeah, she's just in heat. So she's like, what we need to do is we like super have to impress him. So I don't know, why don't we just add like an entirely extra section to the song at the end and have two people who weren't singing. We're just going to add them to the song. We'll have them start singing. We'll add choreography. We'll do like a whole thing. And the play is supposed to be in like 2 days or something. It's like very, very short. And I was like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what? Like, first off, it seems like everyone knows he doesn't like musicals. And so your thought to impress him was add more musical to the musical? Like, lady, just go make out with him behind, like, the set. Like, that's just do what you're going to do. So she's like, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have the Baxter character, so, like, the best friend of the prince, and the ugly stepsister number one. I don't know, maybe they like each other, too. So we're going to add a whole song and dance there, and we're going to have them kiss. Ger has not been invited. Like, no one told him to show up. He's just sort of being a super dick. He just showed up to be kind of a super dick, which
he's being an actor, like his son wanted him to be. And I shall
so
act.
Fucking much. Yes, yeah. He's like, oh, you want full Ger vision? Like, he like goes full all the way to 11. So he's sitting in the back. He's watching everybody do their rehearsal. He sees the Cinderella actress and the Prince actor, so the Marcus Crombie kid who wants to fuck Ger. And he's like, you guys did such a great job. I was so impressed. Like, I really believe what you're doing. And then we get Baxter and his friend Emma, who, like, they're buddies. They're like bros. They don't want to kiss. And they have to do the scene where they do the new little song that says that they're in love with each other, and then they have to do like a little kiss. So at first they try to get out of it by doing like a version of the song where they're like, I actually hate you. I hate you too. Let's agree never to kiss. And the teacher's like, fuck off. You're going to make out. You're going to make out in front of me. You're going to make out in front of Ger. You're going to do it now. So they have to do the correct version of the song, where they're like, I love you and you love me and whatever. And it's cool, even though I'm ugly and you're weird. Like, let's make out. So they do the song and then they have to do a kiss. And it very much is like if you picked up two cats and tried to make them kiss, like that's kind of they're like, and their lips touch like just barely, like with the very bare atoms of their lips. And they're like, okay, we did it. Like, we're done. And Ger is sitting in the back. And I made some notes. Ger is like, the other two, he doesn't even like name Baxter and Emma. He's like, those two over there are afraid of embracing the emotion of the scene. And I was like,
well, what does he say? It looks like two something kissing, like two dead fish kissing or something.
I think it's something like that. Yeah, I think I like stopped making notes at that point because I blacked out. But I like
because he just like drawls and he's like, that looked like two dead fish kissing. Like
he is all the way. He is like the most. He is the most that anyone has ever been the most.
Yeah, because you don't know he's in the room until he says that. And then everyone turns and looks at him.
Yeah. I love that he's sitting there with like a cat that ate the canary. He's got that bemused. It's a characteristic, right?
Yeah.
He's got the bemused, like, me. I fucking love it. And like, as a little side note, I just want to say he's the only person, except maybe the principal. He's the only person in this entire show that is dressed like normally. Like, I think they dressed him really well. It's like, sexy, white button down shirt and like a very like fancy looking coat, like just very like high class, like thumbs up. Good job, everyone. Everyone else had like 2010s, insane, just fucking too much of everything. And he's like, oh, can I just show up in my own wardrobe? Fantastic. So he's sitting there looking like the cat that ate the canary in his super hot, handsome wardrobe. And he's like, you guys aren't making out correctly. And I was like, if there's anyone who has like any input on what a correct makeout scene on television looks like, you found the guy.
It is,
like,
yes.
The guy.
You have picked the expert. The subject matter expert is in the room with us.
Right? I was like, no notes. No fucking notes.
Fine.
Like, correct. Yeah. Like, if he's going to, like, the only options you had for him to criticize a scene would be either like have the kids do Shakespeare and have him be like, that's not how you do it, or have them do a makeup scene and then having him be like, let me show you how. Like, this is perfect. Just no notes. So he is the most bemused sitting there. So I don't know, like it, like there's like not much that happens after that. Like the musical happens. There's like a little prop car on stage that gets jammed. So Baxter has to jimmy the door open with like a weird magic wand that his creepy little twin half-sister troll doll gave him. And they have to like make up a song on stage and they do a good job. And at the end, Ger shows up in the little dressing room and he's like, I'm proud of you. Let me explain to you why I don't like musicals. It's just because I'm bad at them. Like, I'm good at Shakespeare. I can't do comedy. I can't do...
He goes, I can't tell a joke to save my life.
Yeah. And I'm like, that must have been hard for you to...
Did you? Yeah, he was an actor in that moment.
So much. I like that, like, the theme of this whole episode was like, Ger, what if you were Ger, but more? And he was like, more? I got it. Like, I got this.
I can be more.
He talks to the kid, he compliments him, and then Emma comes in and he compliments her, and he's like, good job, guys. Let's go and get dinner. Emma, like, invites herself, because teenage girl. And Baxter's like, could you maybe go, like, to Marcus, so the kid who played the prince, the kid who, like, wanted to fuck you earlier, like, could you maybe just, like, say something nice to him, just at all, just give him, like, a little, like, theater boner.
He'd really like it.
Yeah, so Ger walks over to him, and he's, like, saying something nice. You can't really hear. He's, like, far away. And you see Marcus, he kneels again and goes, my liege. And I'm like, fucking what? You are so much. I mean, it's correct. I mean, that is how you should greet Ger.
Yeah.
In any occasion. I feel like that is the correct formal way. You say Mr. Win Davies and you just bow and you kneel. You don't look him in the eyes. But, like, I like that this kid meets Ger, I think, 3 times in this episode, and each time he is so overcome with emotion that he has to, like, kneel on the ground in front of him. And I was like, that feels accurate.
Yeah, and he does go, like, get up. Like, he tells him to get up.
He does, but I feel like he's not mad about it. I feel like he's like...
It's like not in front of everybody else.
Come by later.
I did like the scene where he's asking his son to dinner, and the woman is like, the little girl is like, oh yeah, I'll go. Is it Emma or Anna?
Yeah, Emma. Yeah,
Emma,
the best friend.
Yeah, he's like, well, I'll take you to dinner, and she goes, great, like, I'll go. He's like,
when are we going?
Okay, Although he does invite her, because Baxter's like, okay, well, I'll go. And he's like, and of course, Emma, you're invited too. But like, not just good you. Dad.
I feel like he does a good job. I don't know. He does like a good dad job in this episode. Like, he hugs the kid and he has like a real heart to heart with him about his profession. And he's like, you don't have to be like me. Like, just because we both are interested in acting. Like, we don't have to be the same. Like, you can do your thing and that's valid and that's cool. Let's hug it out. I don't know.
I wonder if they were intending this to be like a recurring role for him. Like, if he was going to come back as Baxter's dad.
I mean, it has to be, because it sounds sort of like in Frankie Drake, where like, even when his character is not there, his character is like a big motivating role for the main character.
Yeah.
So that's the feeling that I got, is that like, because at the end of this, the school still doesn't know. As far as I'm aware, the school doesn't know that he's his dad. He's still just Sir Harold Hampstead, and the kid is still Baxter McNabb, and Like they know that the guy was there to watch the play, but they don't know he was there to watch his son.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be, I mean, it felt like it would be like a recurring thing. Like I still need to keep
and
my
eventually
secret.
It would come out and
then we have to deal with the fallout of it. And that's kind of the vibe that I got from this. I don't know. I thought like, so I don't as a rule like teen comedies, and I don't as a rule, like watch kid shows. Like I was like, whatever, but I liked this. I thought this was interesting. I thought it had like, it had potential, and I'm kind of bummed that it didn't last more than one season, because it seemed like the characters were interesting and weird and quirky and had a lot of personality. Like there's
and I like the fourth wall break.
Yeah. I like that Baxter was doing a full on Matthew Broderick, what's his name? Ferris Bueller. He was doing like a full on Ferris Bueller. I thought that was kind of cute, but he only did it like 2 times, which I thought was kind of weird. Like it was kind of like an afterthought.
It may have been more in other episodes. But this episode felt like the culmination of a lot of plot lines. Like,
sure.
Yeah, like I think that Cinderella musical would have had a lot more payoff if you'd been watching them put it together for the whole season.
Yeah.
Instead of just at the end, you're like, why is this taking up half the episode?
It did feel sort of like, why am I watching all these rehearsals? Like, why is this entire episode like, here's the choreography kids and they're working on dancing. Like, let's watch that for 20 minutes. And like, here's Baxter on stage. Let's watch that for 20 minutes. And I was like, why is this whole episode is 20 minutes, but every segment felt like 20 minutes long. Like it just, but watch, like, just scrolling through like, Wikipedia, it doesn't seem like this play is actually like throughout the whole season. Like it's like the final thing. It's like their final culmination. At least that's how it plays in this episode. Like it's the big thing, and we've been working on it. But like just like scrolling through, we do a battle of the band, and we do a movie about vampires, and
Ger's not in that episode.
I know. Wasted opportunity.
Oh my God.
I know. It looks like the musical is sort of like threaded through. Like there's like, so this is episode 13, and like episode 8 looks like that's them figuring out the parts to the musical, but then they like go back to like we're doing other stuff where this kid wants to be in a commercial, this kid wants to do a school dance, there's a mysterious new girl at school they want to be friends with. Like it feels
could be like Babylon 5, where you had a plot line every week, but there were like there were through lines.
Yeah. I wonder if in some of these other episodes that aren't specifically about the musical, there's like at least a couple of lines like, oh, and also we're working on the musical. So it feels like it's threaded through, but like not as much as you would expect on a show made today. Like
right.
It definitely.
It's not one long movie. It's like, it's episodic.
It's really episodic. Yeah. It feels more 90s than 2000s. Like in that way. Like it's just.
Well, even in early 2000s, a lot of kids shows were still just episodic.
We weren't Steven Universe yet. We weren't.
No.
Here's this giant underlying lore that you have to piece together through every episode. So I don't know. It seems like a cute show. I don't generally like teen shows. So like, I don't know that I would go back and watch the other 12 episodes because there's no Ger Daddy in it. And I was here for the Ger Daddy.
I mean, we were here for Ger. We came, we Gered, now we're done.
Yeah.
It's sort of our mode of operation.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Although I do kind of want to see, like, if I skim through, if that giant picture of Ger has been there the entire season. Like, I can.
Or they just cast him.
Yeah.
Finally,
I'm sure it's like Frankie Drake, where they, like, had a fake photo the whole time, and then they're like, oh, actually, we're going to have Ger. Like, let's bring the Ger photo in. But, like, I want them to have had that giant photo just, like, hanging out there the entire time. Like, they knew.
They knew he was coming.
So,
like, you can scent it on the wind. They're like,
yes.
My God.
Yeah, like the first episode of Slings and Arrows, where they're like, oh, my God. Henry Breedlove. Oh, my God. Henry Breedlove. Like, he's coming. He's almost here.
Yeah.
So, like, so characteristic-wise, he plays a super hot, famous Shakespearean actor that everyone is in awe of and sort of wants to fuck.
Yeah.
He is himself, but like much too much. There's a giant photo of him on a wall somewhere that he gets to stop and admire.
Bemused eyebrows.
Bemused eyebrow.
He's in on a joke.
Yes.
Yep.
And I want to say that him critiquing the kissing is adjacent to the characteristic of him making out and everything. I feel like that's a little reference to him being the makeout king.
Yeah, that's fair.
Turn on 10 tornado. Yeah. So, what would I rate this out of 10 hot, sloppy, wet kisses? You know what? A 6. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because, like,
decent.
I feel like there could have been more Ger scenes, but I was satisfied with the number and the length of the Ger scenes. I really, 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 really liked that scene where he's like, "You guys aren't kissing right," and I was like, "If anyone would know." I mean,
that was a good scene.
You're the dude.
Yeah.
And I guess a characteristic would like also is that we've got Cynthia Dale, like we've got people that he's made out with before popping up because they can't stay away. The pheromones.
I'm gonna go 4 raised eyebrows out of 5.
Oh, that's a high score.
We got for the 5 minutes of screen time that he has. He managed to tick a lot of his usual boxes.
I know. He did such a good job.
He's like, okay, I'm on. I gotta pack it all in. Here we go. I kind of wanted when we got the scene in the principal's office where he was like, "Oh, you want me to act?" Well, I'm an actor, motherfucker. I'm about to go do some acting. I was like, ooh, okay, good. Like we're gonna get him in every scene. And then we didn't get the payoff of the I'm an actor. We get that one scene where he's at a rehearsal and they're like, well, it's a rehearsal. Yeah. We don't really usually let people in here. And he's like, oh, I know rehearsals. It's fine.
I don't know if you remember from 35 seconds ago, but I'm actually the world's most famous and fuckable actor. Hi.
Yeah. What's up? Hi, I am Garrett Wynn Davies, star of, I am Henry Hampstead. No, Henry, who am I? God. Famous Shakespearean Canadian actor. That's who I am. And I don't know. I just wanted more payoff. So that's where I'm going to ding one eyebrow because I felt like you got Garrett. You could have put Garrett in more of the episode.
I mean, that's true. I feel like he used his screen time to the most of his ability
what
to
he had, he did it. He worked really well with. But I wanted more payoff for the I am an actor.
That's true.
Okay, then, I was like, oh, let's go.
That is true. I feel like if it were made today, the show would be longer and there would be more scenes of him popping up and being like super dramatic.
Yeah, I wanted him to go full ham, full. I don't know who this boy is,
but he's a terrible actor, not a good kisser.
Wink, wink. Yeah, but that's all right. It was good. It was good. Ger in a kid's show. He managed to fit in everything he could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we came for the hot daddy. We got the hot daddy. I was satisfied. My tum-tum was happy. So yeah, I mean, I would say give this show a shot. I'm kind of bummed that it didn't get more episodes. I feel like the actors are good. I feel like the actors, the kid actors, when they had a chance to shine, did a surprisingly good job. Like when they didn't have to do like Disney acting, when they were like doing their singing, when they were doing the choreography, I was like, oh, these are actually like very talented kids. It's just they're sort of hampered by the Disney-ish of this program.
Yeah.
Like they have to like overact in the scenes where they're just like kids talking to each other because they're playing for an 11-year-old audience. But when they got to be on the little stage and do the little musical, even though the musical was sort of dumb because it's a fake musical for a kids show, I was impressed by like their actual skill. I was like, oh, these are actually good kids. And
it was a cute show.
Yeah.
I would watch this with my kids. Like if they wanted to watch this, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get like
inoffensive and fun.
Yeah, you get like high school cutesy. Like somehow their high school is like the best looking building I've ever seen in my entire life. So okay, unreasonable expectations, but it's like an art school, but the kids aren't catty. They're just like even when they are
gentler.
Yeah, even when they're a little bit catty, it's still like he ends up. There's that one character who's a little saucy.
Oh, the little bitchy girl.
And he ends up confronting her immediately. He's like, can you not do that anymore? I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Even like the little bitchy character is like cute.
Yeah. Medium bitchy at best.
Medium bitchy. Yeah. Yeah. Just sort of like a junior version of Rachel Berry from Glee. Like I want to be the star and I want to be the one in the scene and I want to be the one doing the choreography. Like I want it to be me. And then everyone's like, you can just maybe you're at an 11 and give me a 6. And she's like, okay, I accept that. Like,
I'll go 8. How about 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cute and it was inoffensive. And if I had kids, I would watch it with kids. But like, I just watched this for Hot Daddy and I was very pleased. Good job.
So there you
Good job, Hot Daddy. Thank you for the hot daddy.
Thank you.
It was a good palate cleanser after the residue of Ikwe.
Yes.
Which still haunts my soul.
God, yes.
Anyways, remember our tagline, which is nobody fucking tell him. Okay. Bye.
Bye.